Hey, it's time for my opinion. My favorite albums in 1979. Like I say on all these favorite albums of the year, I always have to start off with saying, if you don't see an album that you like that I don't mention, and you're going to say, hey, where's this album? It's up your ass. I have to say that every episode. Alright, now I'm going to give some shout outs to some that I don't own, or I did own at one time, I don't have it anymore, and some I can't find, like The First Accept. Not the biggest fan of this album, to tell you the truth. They really came to their own on Breaker and the later albums, but it's okay. I figured it deserves a mention. And also Riot and Regatta definitely deserves a mention, because that album fucking rules. I had it on CD, I can't find it, but I love it. Queen Live Killers, I used to have it on vinyl, and I thought I still had it on vinyl. It's not there. And I searched really long and hard, and I need to buy that one again. Hopefully there's another version with bonus tracks. Who knows? The First Saxon, like The First Accept, it's okay, but to me they found their own on Wheels of Steel and Strong Arm of the Law and so on. But it's okay. But I don't own it, but I have heard it. Michael Jackson, Off the Wall. I used to not really be into Michael Jackson. The past few years, I've really gotten into him. And that's one of his best albums. That and Thriller. Love it. Pat Benatar, In the Heat of the Night. I believe that's her first album with Heartbreaker. Rocks, man. And I used to have that on vinyl too. Can't find it. Madness, One Step Beyond. Now, I'll be honest with you, I've never owned that one. But goddamn, do I love that album. And I saw it on the list, 1979. Must give it a mention for that song alone. April Wine, Harder, Faster. Another one I know I owned on vinyl. Can't find it. Great rock album. Whitesnake, Love Hunter. I'm looking at my list, by the way. Love Hunter. I have that one on cassette, but my cassettes are buried in my closet. I never play cassettes. But I know it, I have it on cassette, and I love it. ZZ Top, De Guello. I used to have as a kid on 8-track, actually. And I've lost that through the year, and I need to get that one back, because that's a slamming album. And Jefferson Starship, I can't remember the name of the album. I used to have it. I think it's like Freedom at .0 or something, or point something. It had that song Jane. I think it's a good rocking album. It's a little flip-floppy, spotty in parts. But I remember liking more than one song on that album, and I want to revisit that album to remember those other songs other than Jane. And Neil Young, Crazy Horse, Live Rust. Great live album that I've never owned. But my brother has it, and I've jammed to it a lot on his turntable back in the day. So there you go. That's my list of shit I don't own. So here we go into what I do own. I bought this way later. The Def Leppard EP. This came in the box set, but I actually have the big version. That was a record stay exclusive, but I put it away and I didn't want to go through all those vinyls. But this is great. This has Ride Into the Sun, which they later re-recorded on Hysteria. The B-sides of Hysteria. Get Your Rocks Off, a different version than the On Through the Night version, and the Overture is also on here. Both different versions than what later was on their debut album, On Through the Night. Fleetwood Mac Tusk. Now, this one I'm not really into, but it has what I consider the greatest fucking heart-wrenching ballad Stevie Nicks ever did, and that's Beautiful Child. I absolutely love that song to pieces. And there's a couple other tunes I like on here. Sarah's on here, and even the title track, as weird as it is, I kind of like it. And I know there was a song Lindsay did that I liked on here, but I can't remember what it is. I should slap this on after this review, remembering it. Again, I'm always going to put ABBA in my best ofs because I love ABBA. And this is Voulez-Vous, and I love this title track. I love I Had a Dream, Angel Eyes, Chiquita, Does Your Mother Know? Has a, that you could turn that into a thrash riff. Dun, 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 dun. Love ABBA, so I have to throw that in here. Not really an official album, but this is something the Sex Pistols, Malcolm McLaren. It's the soundtrack to the movie, and there's a lot of good shit on here. Like I like the Sid Vicious song, like the covers he does, And even the Steve Jones song, The Poor Boy or something like that. There's some really catchy stuff on here. And I love the title track, Rock and Roll Swindle. And it's a great movie. Kind of odd, but it's cool. So I had to throw this in here. But it's not really an album. This is not really a Sex Pistols album. If Johnny Rotten saw this review, he'd say Bullocks to me. Styx, Cornerstone. Now this one is, I love some of it, and I really don't like some of it. I love Boat on a River is my favorite track on here. I love Love After Midnight. Is that the name of the last track on here? Great. Eddie's a cool rockin' tune. Borrow Time, Lights, Why Me? I like all those songs. The rest, Never Say Never is okay. But, you know, this one also has Babe and, you know, Last Time, whatever that one's called. I can do without those, but, yeah, it's a hit and miss album, but worthy enough to put on here. State of Shock, Ted Nugent, the Nuge, Paralyzed Alone. That's one of my favorite Nugent songs. And he does, I don't have my glasses, but I know he does a Beatles cover of one of the George Harrison songs. That's really cool. And I like Saddle Sore. I remember that was one of the songs on here. And Snake Charmer. Good stuff. State of Shock. Oh, man. Awesome album. The Kid's All Right from the soundtrack of the movie. Probably the greatest rock documentary in my opinion. A lot of cool, like kind of like a best of in a way, but it has like a lot of cool live recordings and stuff. I remember buying this. It took me forever to find the song Teenage Wasteland until I finally figured it out. It was called Bob O'Reilly. And to me, the best version is the live version that's on here. So that's why I bought this album for Bob O'Reilly, but it took me forever to find it because I thought it was called Teenage Wasteland. Probably my favorite album from Tom Petty. And I bought this. This is not the copy I bought way back in the day. This is something I found in a used thing. I love it. It has my favorite Tom Petty song, Even the Losers. You know, Refugees on here, Don't Do Me Like That, Here Comes My Girl. Louisiana Rain, I absolutely love that song. It's just a great album. And if you want to know the story behind the album, you got to see his documentary. Tom Petty was a badass. You got to hear out what went down before this album was done. He fucking totally owned the record company. All right. Joe's Garage, Frank Zappa. This is 2 and 3. I don't have one. I've never heard one. Probably great, but this one has Catholic girls, right? Catholic girls. I love this album. I play this one quite a bit. It's good, but I don't like it as much as this one. My favorite Frank Zappa album, Chic Your Booty with Broken Hearts Are for Assholes, Bobby Brown, Mama, Dancing Fool, Baby Snakes, and I want a nasty little Jewish princess. La, la, la. Great stuff. I absolutely love it. Double album, just like Joe's Garage. He was busy that year in 1979. Frank Zappa. I'm a casual fan, but the stuff I love from him, like this, Overnight Sensation, Freak Out, Joe's Garage, and this one's my favorite. Not a fan of this band, but I love this album because this is the Eagles' Long Run, and there's 2 songs I absolutely love on here, and that's In the City from Joe Walsh. You all know that from the movie The Warriors, and also Disco Strangler. Probably my favorite Eagles song. Not really much into the Eagles, but I like those 2 songs, so that's why that's on my list. Boogie Motel, I got it on CD. I want to thank my friend Kathy, who won the Foghat box set at a raffle. She ain't into Foghat, so she gave me the box set. It's a good Boogie Woogie album. Not one of their best, but I dig it. Enough to put it on my list. Foreigner, Head Games. I'm just a dirty white boy. That song rocks. What else is on here? Love on the Telephone. Head Games, the title track. Rev on the Red Line. This is some good shit. Foreigner, I believe it's their 3rd album, Head Games. Alright, the final Led Zeppelin album, In Through the Outdoor. Now, this is the first album I bought from Led Zeppelin when it was new. This is a very special. I know a lot of people don't like this album, but I think it has a lot to do with timeline, and since I bought it as a kid, I love Carrots Alhambra, All My Love, and In the Evening. I even love Hot Dog, and I'm Gonna Crawl. I think it's a great fucking album. Though I will admit everything before it was better, but I still dig it. I guess it's because of timeline. The first Gamma album. I have all 3. Gamma rules. If you don't know this shit with Ronnie Montrose, I highly suggest you look this shit up. This is some great classic hard rock and shit right here. Rules. Boys to Call Mirrors. The Doctor, right? Doctor Music. Fucking rules. This is a weirder album. It's a little all over the place, but I dig it, man. You know, this is, what else is on here? I Am the Storm. The title track. You know, it does have some weird shit, you know, Crazy Moon and stuff like that. Tom Warman produced this. But I love it. I do love listening to this now and then. I gotta be in the mood for it. But it's a good album to play when you feel like it. This is my favorite album from the Cars, Candy-O. I saw this tour. This was the second show I ever saw. First was Cheap Trick, then Candy-O. I love this album, especially my favorite track is the title track. But I also love Got a Lot on My Head, Let's Go, which a lot of people know. Double Life is awesome. Night Spots. My favorite Cars album. Yeah. Hey, see what I'm wearing? That's my next pick. Kansas, Monolith. I bought this when it was new too. I was huge into Kansas. I love this album. You know, People of the South Wind, Reason to Be, How My Soul Cries Out for You, Angels Have Fallen, A Glimpse from Home, On the Other Side. This, I think, is very underrated. Not a lot of people talk about this album. That's why I was shocked to see this retro, you see this? Retro Kansas. I'm wearing my boxers. I'm trying to be decent here. Retro Monolith album. I absolutely love this album. It's fucking cool. I listen to that one a lot, actually. Evolution, my second favorite Journey album, right after Infinity, the follow-up to Infinity. I love Majestic, that little intro, and It's Late. What else is on here? Do you recall? Love and Touch and Squeeze is the hit. Too Late is the song I meant. City of the Angels, great fucking song. Lady Luck, Just the Same Way, rules. Fucking Greg Raleigh rules. Great fucking album. I love this album. I play this one quite a bit as well. Alright. Blackfoot Strikes. This kicks ass. Train, Highway Song, Wishing Well, Road Fever. This is a great album. Run and Hide. Love me some Blackfoot. Alright, this one I gotta listen to more. What? Shine a Little Love on here. ELO. I was a huge ELO fan as a kid, and I did buy this when it was new. And you know, it's a little more disco, but you know, I can hang with this album. Don't Bring Me Down is the big hit off it, and Last Train to London. It was, you know, kind of a hit too. But it's cool. I mean, I like the ones before it more, but Discovery's not a bad album. This one should be in the top 10. It was actually my top 10, and it was kicked out for something that I will explain in another episode. It was very close between this and another one that ended up being number 10. My favorite album from the Scorps. Yes, I am really, my favorite era is the Uli era, but this is my favorite album. And believe it or not, my favorite Scorpion song is the reggae song on here. What's it called? Damn, what's the name of that song? Is there anyone out there? I love that song. I love Holiday. I love this whole album. Another Piece of Meat and Can't Get Enough. Pure metal, man. Great album. Michael Shaker helped a lot on it. And this is, I got this from my brother who bought this in Germany in 1979. And when I went to go visit him, when he was in the army over there, I would play this album nonstop along with Crime of the Century and Chic Your Booty. Those three albums I discovered in 1979. He had it in his collection in Germany. Absolutely love Live Drive. Love Drive. Should be in my top 10. This should be in my top 10 too. It's my second favorite album from the band. Night in the Ruts. Grossly underrated album. This album is amazing. You know, Cheesecake, Coney Island Fishbone, Fish Boy. I love the cover. Remember Walking in the Sand. Reefer-Headed Woman. What's the song that starts this album? No Surprise. Probably my favorite. That and Cheesecake. Think About It. Mia. 3 Mile Smile. This album fucking rocks. Yeah, they were in a lot of turmoil. And I would say it's the most underrated of their classic stuff. And I only think Rocks is better than this. I prefer this over everything else they've done. This is my favorite album from this band too. Shame. Didn't make the top 10. Just a Game, Triumph. Lay It on the Line is the hit off this, but I love Suitcase Blues, probably my favorite on here. I love the title track, Hold On, Not Man Enough to Cry, American Girls, Move On. This whole album fucking rules. All right, next, Supertramp, Breakfast in America. I love the Logical song. I know a lot of people don't, but I love that song. I love the title track, Goodbye Stranger. Probably their biggest album. I dig the album, but my favorite's still Crime of the Century. Down to Earth, I had Graham Bonnet sign it. This is the only album Graham Bonnet did with Rainbow. I love this fucking album. Eyes of the World, All Night Long, Since You've Been Gone. You know, I mean, of course it's not as good as the Dio stuff. Nothing is when it comes to Rainbow, but Rainbow's one of those rare bands that there's not an album they made that I don't like. I love all the Joe Lynn Turner stuff and even the album with Doogie. Alright, Nazareth, No Mean City. This is an album that I've listened to only once and I really liked it, and I gotta revisit it again. My friend Joseph Staub has been sending me some Nazareth stuff that I've been playing those a lot, but I gotta revisit this. But I do remember the one time I bought it and I found it at a used bin. And such an amazing album cover. I really enjoyed it. Nazareth, No Mean City. This deserves to be in the top 10. And it's actually probably my favorite album from the Police. The second one, Zenyatta Mandata. With, Message in the Bottle's one everybody knows. And what else is another hit on here? I think that's it, right? As far as, like, radio hits. Walking on the Moon. That'd be the other one. But, Bed's Too Big Without You. It's All Right For You. Bring On the Night. I don't know. It's a tie between this one and Zenyatta Mandata. This one's called Regatta De Blanc. Did I say Zenyatta Mandata earlier? It's Regatta De Blanc. I don't know. It's sometimes I think this is the best one. Sometimes I think it's the first one. Deserves to be in the top 10. This one deserves to be in the top 10 too. Unfortunately, it didn't make it. Great, amazing live album. It's Alive from the Ramones. Man, 1979 was good to leave this off the fucking top 10. This album smokes. One of the best live albums ever. And it's a shame to all your punk rock purists, I'm going to put this down and lift up this next album, that I fucking love and think it also should be in the top 10. Whoop, don't you fall, you awesome 1979 albums. I fucking love this album. REO Speedwagon, 9 Lives, Heavy on Your Love. That guitar solo, Gary Richrath, smokes. This is probably the most heavy of all the REO albums. Drop It, Only the Strong Survive, Back on the Road Again, Take Me to, Take Me. There's only one clunker on here, I Need You Tonight, and also the cover of Rock and Roll from Chuck Berry's Whatever. But the rest, love it. Easy Money, great fucking live album. I worship 9 Lives. And again, it should be in the top 10. Fucking Molly Hatchet, the second one. This one's my favorite Molly Hatchet. Boogie No More, probably my favorite Molly Hatchet song. Of course, Whiskey Man, the title track. There's a lot of good shit on here. Love it. Second, and I saw this tour, opening for Bob Seger. Alright, this technically wasn't recorded in 1979, but this was released in 1979. It's got some of the stuff from the first album, On Parole, with I love Vibrator. Iron Horse, Born to Lose, The Watcher, Leaving Here, Lost Johnny, the song Motorhead. Awesome. And speaking of Motorhead, and this is the last before I get into the top 10. Bomber. Bomber is a fucking awesome album. Dead Man Tell No Tales, Lawman, Sweet Revenge, Sharpshooter, Poison, Stone Deaf Forever. Fucking rules. Great, great fucking album. Bomber. Alright. There's only 10 left. It'll be up tomorrow. My top 10 from 1979. Thanks for watching this, guys. And remember, if you didn't see the album that I pulled up that you think should be on the list, just look down, reach down between your legs, and pull it out of your ass. Later. This video was brought to you by Miami Metal Merchant. For competitive prices and for your metal needs, visit www.miamimetalmerchant.com. SHMACKEMAGOB.com.